We are back, Black. What is going on? What is going on? Another day, another 10 cents for black folk, another $350 for white folk, and counting. Man, what is going on? What is going on? I'm your boy, Warren G, in the place to be. Been Clown Sucker Free since 2003. You already know what it is. Shout out to everybody's at the at the Court Plantation, boy. Motherfuckers be trying you, don't they? Shout out to everybody that's handling business and doing what the fuck they need to do to survive. Shout out to everybody that's not Samboing, cooning, and doing what the fuck they know they supposed to be doing. Being the guiding light and handling business. Shout out to everybody that's trying to replace the system of racism, white supremacy, and establish a system of justice. Not sitting up here, just not reading, not researching, not studying, not doing nothing. Just bullshitting. I want to send a special shout out to all you finessing ass niggas that's sitting around the house not doing shit, but sitting around and scratching your left nut and smelling it, and got your thumb up your ass and smelling it and talking about shit. I don't know what I'm gonna do today, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Nigga, how about take a motherfucking shower? Your stinking ass. Shout out to everybody that is still trying to get to the Court Plantation as we speak. Shout out to the niggas that's working at the Court Plantation, but it's making sure that ain't no nigga coming in there going postal in that motherfucker. Shout out to the niggas that treat niggas real good and don't do them dirty, because it's very imperative that we treat each other in a respectful manner, no matter what the cost, no matter what the fuck is going on, because I think it's very imperative that we do things the right way. So shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all my bitches that's out there trying to make some money. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, shout out to all my single ladies as well. It's a lot of single ladies out here. Shit. Some single ladies that need some dick in their life. Give me a call, bitch. I got you. Shit. I know what to do with that pussy. Shit. Don't get it twisted. Shout out to all my ladies that's singing in the choir right now but need a man in their life. Don't look, just to let y'all know, if you're singing in the choir and you need a man in your life, stop looking at the pastor. I'm tired of y'all bitches always trying to fuck the pastor. Fuck with a nigga like me if you gonna fuck the pastor. Shit. Shout out to all my women that's really trying to handle business and at the Court Plantation. Hey, what's going on, Tasha? Shit. Speaking of, hey, I fucked that pie up, nigga. That shit was good to the motherfucker. I hope you, look, the ones you don't want, just throw them my way. Shit. Instead of shorty swing my way, pie swing my way. Your show tastes good to me. Now would you please swing my way? Oh, hey, get me to singing in this motherfucker. Oh man, shout out to everybody that's trying to enjoy their life and do what they need to do. Damn, I forgot. If you're thinking about having you something to drink, why don't you go get you some E40 wine? You got Mango Moscato, Tropiscato, regular Moscato. That's what y'all need to do. Stop buying all these other motherfuckers wine and shit. Go get that nigga shit. Anyway, shout out to everybody that is trying to do what they need to do. And I know it's hard. And here I'm gonna see. Go get the Earl Stevens. Yes, nigga. Yeah, nigga. I have a little. Yeah, y'all niggas didn't even know, nigga. I got a little something. Nigga, I ain't saved. Yeah, nigga. Go get you some Earl Stevens in your life. If you want to if you want to drink the devil's juice, then you better go get Earl Stevens. That's Jesus juice right there. That's not the devil's juice. I know you probably really can't see because it's in black and white. So I'm gonna put it up so you can see it. I don't know if that. Hold on, let me see. I gotta make sure. Let me see how that looks. There we go. If you want some Jesus juice, go get you some Earl Stevens in your life. Look, I couldn't even finish the whole goddamn bottle because the shit knocked me the fuck out. Go get you some Earl Stevens in your life. That's a black business. Look, I'm promoting Earl Stevens and sea moss at the same time. I got a sea moss shake right here. That's to replace the motherfucking Earl Stevens and shit. And if you need some shit paper, Freedom Paper Company, go fuck with them. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to all my niggas that's out there trying to slang dick to survive. Niggas out there slanging dick for a couple of dollars and shit. Niggas like, shit, I gotta pay this phone bill, man. Bitch, what you trying to do? I need about $60. Now look, I'll fuck you for about a good 20, 30 minutes. After that, I got to go. So shout out to them. And shout out to my women out there slinging that pussy hole for some money. I ain't mad at you. Any bitches out there, any bitch that's really trying to look, if you need somebody to help you organize your clients and files, come see me, bitch. I'll auction off your pussy for you. But anyway, we about to get right into it. So shout out to everybody that's handling the business. And shout out to everybody that's at the Court Plantation, because the shit ain't fun. It ain't no fucking joke. Let's cut this shit down. Man. What is going on? What is going on? You know what? I got a couple of things that I'm going to talk about today or tonight. I'm glad to make it back. I ain't going to be too long. Look, I sound like a preacher. I ain't going to be too long looking at ass. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. FBI. Hold on. FBI. Got to get them in there. And then let's go with Casey Goodson. Okay, I got a couple of things to discuss. First of all, I like this interview. That the Breakfast Club did with Casey Goodson's mother. I'm going to play a little bit of that. And it's so funny because I had already did the podcast on that. And I'm going to tie it all into one. But you notice the title says, you know, profit over freedom. The reason why I named that profit over freedom is because we got a lot of people that really don't know, they don't understand. And the reason why I'm going to break this down, because we don't understand. I'm going to play this interview by Casey Goodson Jr.'s mother. You know, sweet lady, young. She was very in tune with her sons and her kids. And I like how she broke it down like, yeah, I work hard. I work 2 jobs. We not on public assistance. She put that, I like that the Breakfast Club allowed her to do that, because what they'll try to do is assassinate your character. And I'm going to tie it all into one, because I already talked about Casey Goodson Jr., but just listening to that interview, it really kind of struck a chord with me in a good way. Like, I'm glad they're allowing her to say what she said, because she was able to frame her own picture and create her own narrative about her son, because the police basically assassinated him, of course. And then after assassinating him, they tried to say he had a gun. And then beautiful interview, and I'm going to break that down. But I think a lot of times we feel like when we do everything right, that things are supposed to go right for us. That's one. And I'm not talking about Casey Goodson Jr. in a bad way. I'm talking about the black man did everything fucking right. Everything right. And they still killed him. They still murdered him. Man went to the dentist, like I said. And then I read the article. Man went to the dentist and went and got Subway, and they shot him. Talk about he was waving a gun at the police. They always creating some type of bullshit. When this man had a license to carry, he was a very proud gun owner. Where's the NRA at? Where are they at? Oh no, the NRA is only for white people. So let's just put that out there. So we already got that correct. That's one. 2, we need to understand exactly what the fuck is going on. When you leave the house, matter of fact, every time you leave the house, know that you're in danger. That's 1. And 2, it doesn't matter if you follow every protocol of the law. That doesn't mean they can't kill you with impunity. Remember that. So all you coon sandbox niggas that's making 6-figure digits and working for white folks, and they patting you on the head and treating you like you know you the greatest thing since sliced bread, don't think that they won't step back and let that law enforcement murder your ass. And we got to stop being so trusting of anybody else that is not in alignment with replacing the system of racism, white supremacy, and establishing a system of justice. Which means, I don't care what racial group you're a part of. If you're not trying to establish a system of justice, then I don't want you coming around me talking about Black Lives Matter. I don't need that shit. We need white folk to not only tell us what's being said in the room when we're not in the room, like Dr. Francis Wellstein talks about, and we need white folk to use their influence and their white privilege to get these laws and shit changed, so these so-called law enforcement police officers, race soldiers, are not just killing black folks with impunity because they assume that he got a gun, and they just kill him. So that's what we're going to need every other racial group to do, which they're not going to do, which means we got to rely on each other. So with that being said, we have to stop being so looking for the profit and not worried about our freedom. And the reason why I say that is because all business ain't good business. All money ain't good money. All likes and views ain't good likes and good views. Trust and believe you me. Like I said, I got videos. My family, I got videos. They got 100,000 views. Like, yeah, right. Nigga, I don't need to lie to y'all. Niggas that know me, that work at the corporate plantation with me and know me, they got that. Nigga, I had a nigga that worked with me, sent me a video that I had did that had like 30,000 views or 20,000 views. And this video was done damn near 10 years ago. But I didn't want, everybody, I just didn't want that to be the focus of my page. So that's why I was like, nah. And I left YouTube for a while. I didn't do shit for a while. I just stopped. And I'm glad I did. And the reason why I'm glad I did is because I get a chance to kind of see nature take shape and form. And I'm glad that it's like that. And I watch Professor Griff daily. And Professor Griff has a good following. And a lot of people fuck with Professor Griff. But for some sort of reason, he can't say shit. They flag his page. They tear it down. That's because this man is speaking the truth. He's speaking the truth. That's a fact. And that's one thing that I've learned. That's why I'm glad that my shit is like that. Niggas like, yeah, right. Look, nigga, I'm glad my shit is like this. I don't want a whole bunch of people. I want them tearing my shit, taking my shit down, giving me strikes, because I can't say shit. Right now, I can say what I want right now. But you start getting a lot of followers and shit like that, they start fucking with your page and shit. So I'm telling you right now, we have to stop being so trusting in profit over freedom. And you like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Our dear brother, Casanova, dope lyricist, dope brother. I watched his interview on the Breakfast Club when I like that spirit in him. I like how when Eminem was going back and forth with Machine Gun Kelly, and in that diss, he kind of like put some business out there, but then tried to make a joke about it. And Casanova was like, "My nigga, you wrong for that shit." He called him out, like, "Nigga, we don't do that shit. You wrong for that." And I said, ever since then, I was like, I like Casanova. That nigga I like that nigga. I like that in him because he didn't give a fuck. And I like that in him that he did take the bait with the Tekashi 6ix9ine shit. He was very, very vocal about it. I know what this nigga trying to do. But this all coincide with shout out to Lord Jamar, shout out to Royce the 5'9", shout out to Godfrey, shout out to everybody, Tariq, everybody that don't fuck with Vlad TV. Because see, the FBI just put out there, oh yeah, we using his interviews to indict motherfuckers. We're using his interviews to indict people. So I'm gonna play you to it. I'm gonna play you some shit. And the question is, I always thought he was the police. That's why when Lord Jamar started really putting out there how he was, I was like, yes, finally, because I just didn't like. First of all, I didn't like the fact that he thought he could speak for black folks on reparations. Talking about, well, I think reparations should be a form of education. That's one. Two, when he had Jay Morrison on there, he didn't like, to me, that Jay Morrison embarrassed him. And once Jay Morrison embarrassed his ass about that real estate and that stock, then he couldn't wait till the FCC said they was investigating him, and then he put that up on his site right away. Because he's just one of those type of motherfucking dominant society white boys that I'm cool with you as long as you don't have more than me or could tell me how you really feel about me. Like Dame Dash. That's why he like Dame Dash. That's why him and the other dude, the No Jumper podcast, a white boy that probably don't even deal with niggas. Because I watched his podcast when he was all up in the knickers and guards. He looked scared as fuck. I said, that man don't belong over there. But this is what happens when you're dealing with people that are not from our culture, that make money. They are the bloodsuckers of the poor. So y'all got to understand that. You know what I mean? Those are just things that we have to understand. Not everybody else. We shouldn't be expecting everybody else to understand what the fuck we got going on. No, that's our job to know what the fuck it is. Straight up. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can find that interview, that Breakfast Club interview. Very, very good interview. Let's see. Breakfast. Let's see. Hold on with me. Just 1 second. Let's I'm about to find this interview. Very, very good interview of Casey Goodson. Very, very good. Very, very good. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it.
With Facebook shop.
I'm gonna play a little bit of it just so y'all can hear. I just want y'all to listen to the audio because it's a very, very good interview. Very, very good interview. Very, very good. So here, hold on for just 1 second. Let me cut this off. There we go. There we go. All right. Here we go.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Good morning. Good morning.
We reported a story yesterday, and we also seen, I believe, a family member called in yesterday morning, and when we tried to click to the call, I believe the phone got disconnected or they hung up. So tell us what's going on and what happened.
Yeah. Again, thanks for having us. I mean, we understand this platform.
And this is a black attorney, and he's not no Ben Crump, no buck dancing, bootlicking, telling about the gun line, Sambo, Hayward Shepherd ass nigga. No, he's telling it like it is. And you got to give Casey Goodson's mother, you got to give her name is Tamala Payne. You got to give her props too because, she tried to keep it together, but it's her son. She lost her fucking son, man. It's like she has that right to break down and cry and do all that. So, I'm glad they allowed that emotion to be displayed on their network because now people will understand that, okay, this is a human being, because what happens is the media gets behind it. The white media, them folks, them elite folks, you already know, whether it's white Jewish people, them elite folks get behind the media, and then they run with a whole nother narrative, and they'll paint the picture that the nigga was waving a gun and shooting, and because they'll go with what the police officers say. It's like everything the police officers say is gold, and everything we say is shit.
And this opportunity to tell, Casey's story. And, we don't take that for granted. So obviously in the news, the police has put out a narrative that Casey drove by waving a gun. And, it doesn't make sense, right? As a black man in America in 2020, that just doesn't happen.
That's a fact. See, he's speaking, that's a fact. So you mean to tell me a gun-carrying citizen that has his permits, all his paperwork to own a firearm would drive past the police and wave a gun and point it at a police officer? Does that sound correct in 2020 when police officers, aka race soldiers, are just killing niggas? Does that sound like that's something he would do? Or anyone that has scruples? They're not doing that.
And so that was already a cause for concern. But what they didn't tell us was that Casey was actually executed walking inside of his home.
So you shot him when he was walking inside his home, not running, but walking inside of his home. What if those bullets would have missed him and shot and killed somebody else in the house, like a Tatiana Jefferson? Remember that? Remember Tatiana Jefferson? We don't even talk about her. The motherfucking police, the neighbor said that it was a gun. They saw a gun because she was licensed to carry in Texas, and they just went in there and started shooting. Stop.
And so that's something that obviously, would have made this immediately a national news story. And so, what happened was that Casey woke up that morning. He had a dentist appointment. He went to the dentist, normal Friday. And, from that point, he headed home, stopped.
And that's what I told y'all. I think he had a Subway sandwich, and they said it was a gun. But if he was licensed to carry, he probably had his gun in his holster. So they already saw the gun. They just say gun, so they give them an excuse to kill you. Straight up.
Subway, grabbed 3 sandwiches, one for himself and a couple for his family. And at that point, he parked in front of his house, walked across his yard, started to go into his side door. And at some point, as that side door was open, there was an altercation with the deputy. And by altercation, I mean the family heard 3 gunshots and saw Casey fall into fall into his kitchen. And at that point, his toddler brother, his 5-year-old brother, started screaming. His 3-year-old cousin started screaming, and his 72-year-old grandmother came into the kitchen and saw her baby on the kitchen floor in a pool of blood with Subway line next to him. And so that's the story. That a man was executed walking into his own home. It was not that a man was waving a gun.
Exactly. So that's the real story. The real story, he just told the truth. That brother better be careful about, this black attorney, he better get security, be careful too. Because when you start telling the truth, motherfucker be out to get you. I know that's what really happened. And ain't no kid gonna make that up. So you shot him right in front of a kid. He probably fell right in the kitchen, right in front of his little brother, and his little brother was screaming. Just execution style. But they supposed to be protecting and serving? Man.
And it's important to note that since that initial story, that police account has changed. It's now that he was witnessed with a gun.
Right. So now exactly. See how their stories change? That's why, just look at the video footage of Laquan McDonald. Just look at that footage. Your boy Rahm Emanuel kept the footage because he wanted to win, be elected. Wait, hold on. So Rahm Emanuel kept the footage so he could be reelected. So he withheld footage that clearly would have gotten that police officer an indictment right away, but you didn't. You withheld the footage, right? Oh, but my bad, I forgot. That's Obama's boy and Joe Biden's boy.
So we have a case where a black man with a concealed carry permit in a state that allows you to openly carry a weapon was witnessed with a gun and was executed walking into his own home. And that's all that we have at this point, because that deputy, Jason Meade, has not made any statement about exactly what happened and what he did.
So did he have a gun? Did they find a gun, or there was no weapon?
They said that they found a weapon, and that wouldn't be a surprise to the family because Casey was very passionate about guns, and he took the step of getting his concealed carry permit. But he also, at the same time, I was very adamant with his family about, gun safety and never having a gun illegally. So they say that they recovered a gun, but...
See, and I like that. I like that the Breakfast Club, that's how you use black media. Put it out there. No, he was very, very gung-ho on gun safety. He had all his paperwork. You have to put that out there because you're in the court of public opinion. And what they'll try to do is they'll try to spit on his grave. They don't give a fuck that he's dead. And like they did Trayvon Martin, that he was a thug and he was this and that. And they start using your social media pictures. You can have a social media picture with a toy gun. They'll say it's a real gun. They do shit like that.
All the family saw was the subway there and Casey on the floor, dying.
Did they also say that he was not the person that they were looking for? I remember reading that somewhere.
Exactly, and so that deputy was there for some fugitive task force, but Casey never had any encounters with the law. Casey was not a suspect in any way, and they did clarify that from the beginning. So it's not a situation where there was a mistaken identity. This was flat out an execution of an innocent man walking into his home after a dentist appointment.
Thank you. I had to play this. Because they didn't have it when I did the podcast. They didn't have that on there. So I was like, you know what? Let me find some footage. Very, very good footage.
And he was shot in the back.
Yeah, that's our belief. Unfortunately, we have not had any access to the body. Casey's family has not been able to see Casey since this incident. But, what we do know is that Casey's keys were still in the door. Casey, he had a Mickey Mouse emblem on those keys. And those keys were hanging in the door even after the shooting. And so, he's walking in, there are 3 bullet holes in this metal screen door. And, what we know is that this was an execution and this should not have happened in any way, shape, or form.
Hold on, Sean.
Yep, execution. See, exactly. Now it's our turn to do that. See, because the police will come out and say it's a justified shooting and all this other bullshit.
Sorry, Tamala, we got to send you positive energy, love, and healing energy right now because I see you going through it. And I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Right, and I know this is very brave and strong for you to even be able to come on our platform, but we do want to make sure that there is some sort of accountability or justice and anything that we can do to bring light and attention to what happened unjustly to your son. We want to make sure that we do that and make people aware of what happened.
And by the way, you look like you could be his sister. You look Super
He
young.
was my twin. He was my twin.
Wow.
And I saw originally the cops were trying to say that he was in his car, you know.
Yeah, and that part really frustrated me, and I think that's important. I mean, I'm not saying that there, that the fix is in, but the cover up is definitely in motion, because from the very beginning, the statement that was put out was that he was shot after exiting his vehicle, and that's just not the case. He died on his kitchen floor.
So if you shot him after he exited his vehicle, so you shot him 3 times and he ran all the way in the house and then collapsed? Stop with the bullshit. Stop. He was getting ready to get into his house and then you shot him and killed him. That's what you did.
And it was yards away. I mean, he parked on the street. It wasn't a driveway. He had to walk across his yard.
He had to walk across the neighbor's yard, and then across his yard and into the back gate. It was in the door and was able to open the door. I mean, we fell in the house, shot to death in front of my mother, my 5-year-old son. My 5-year-old son is the one who called me screaming, "Mommy, the police just shot Casey. He's dead. Please, I'm so scared. Hurry up. Come get me, Mommy. Get here. Get here, Mommy." I just dropped him off over there because I was on my way to my second job.
So, now that y'all hear that, now this is what black folks is going through. So, while she's getting ready to go to her second job, she's getting a phone call from a 5-year-old, her 5-year-old son, saying that he just saw his older brother get shot and killed by the police. Come and get me. I'm scared. But y'all voted for Joe Biden and Kamala. Where's Kamala Harris and Joe Biden at now? With all this fucking shit going on. Where are they? Y'all voted for them. Where they at? Where they be at? What's going on? Kamala Harris wanted to wear Timberlands and Chucks and dance and AKA and all this bullshit sorority shit, this Greek shit that they stole from Africa and remixed it and gave it back to niggas and said, yeah, you could be a part of our fraternity shit. When really, well, nigga, this is our shit. We created it. So don't even get me on that. Oh, yeah, because she's an AKA and I'm an alpha and I'm an omega and all this other shit. So basically, I look at sororities and fraternities just like black folks and Cesare Borgia. That's exactly how I look at it. So don't even get me started on that. So stop it. You're not going to get no power, nothing. Just like when I saw a picture of Trayvon Martin's dad, he's supposed to be a Mason. I tweeted, he's a Mason with no power within this system of racism and white supremacy. So what does that mean? I don't care if you're a Mason. You had no power, no influence to get George Zimmerman locked up, get him touched up, nothing. Nothing happened. This man sold Skittles and did autographs on that shit. And nobody did nothing. So I'm tired of niggas using symbolism as a bragging right. Well, I'm a Mason. And all this bullshit. No, but you have no power. So what? It doesn't matter if you're a Mason. It doesn't matter what religion you're a part of. You don't have any power. You have to have power for that to even mean anything. And we so used to symbolisms and used to all this other shit. Another black person gets shot and killed in front of his family. Now, here's the difference. They're on a major platform like the Breakfast Club. Now, where are all the NRA and where are all these gun rights people at that love their guns? Where are the white people at that's like, hey, man, I got a gun too. Like, so y'all gonna shoot me? No, you know why? Because it's separate and never equal. Motherfuckers better know you are black in this country. You're not every other racial group. They're not targeting it. You are the real threat. That's why they got everybody thinking that, everybody was brought over here on slave ships because it wasn't nobody over here, right? And then they brought us over here and we just want to help build this country along with the Latinos and the Chinamen because, the Chinamen, they built the railroads. So we all built this country. Y'all keep going with that chicken shit narrative if y'all want. That shit is falsified advertisement. Just like what happened to Casey Goodson Jr. This is the same bullshit. They know what it is. They just probably didn't think that this was gonna get national attention.
Whole family traumatized. Now, how was your the grandmother at the moment?
That night, she passed out and hit her head and fell down my steps. And when she just got out the hospital, she broke her collarbone. I mean, we are shattered.
Thank you. You just sitting there at home watching your grandson and your other grandsons come back with dinner. And he gets shot and falls right in the damn kitchen in front of everybody. Everybody's supposed to be like, no, you know why? Because they just so used to black folk just taking the licking and keep on ticking. That's all it is. That's all. And they're going to keep doing it until one day motherfucker just wake up and be like, you know what? All right. And that's why, too, Nate Parker's coming out with a new movie. And it's about black folk. About a black man, his son gets killed by a white police officer. And then he say, all right, now I'm going to take matters into my own hands. Now I'm going to be the judge and the jury. It looks like it's going to be a good movie. And I can't wait to watch it. It's got Omari Hardwick in it, a.k.a. Ghost from Power. So I think it's going to be a good movie. And they need to put more movies out like that. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So people, but you know what, though? I don't think about seeing it too long. Because when Nat Turner came out, they definitely didn't want black folks watching that. But they'll make a series about John Brown. And then they make him, when you watch the series, you know, they got Ethan Hawke playing it. Ethan Hawke is a great actor, but they almost got John Brown like as if he's crazy. You know, as if he's not intelligent to be like, hey, this is wrong. It's just like, they got him like, if the Lord doesn't do, you know, just acting crazy. And I'm like, see, they kind of making it a mockery of what John Brown was about. And then they got him with a little black kid wearing a dress. There's always some bullshit going on with that. That's why I'm like, you got to look at what the fuck is going on. These people ain't your friend. They don't care at all.
Baby, so we are, I mean, you see this, and I see mothers and my heart breaks, but you never ever imagine I'm a single mother of 10 children. I raise my kids by myself. We don't count on the government for assistance. I work my butt off.
That's a fact. And I'm glad she put that out there. That's a fact. So, nigga, don't try to go digging thinking that we all on the county. I'm just sitting around not doing shit because that's what they want to do. They assassinate your character. I remember when I remember when that one lady, I think her kid or whatever was dropped in that gorilla sanctuary thing at the zoo. And I think it was Arambe. And, you know, he just grabbed the baby, but he didn't fuck up the baby. He didn't kill the baby. He just kind of grabbed the baby. And then everybody was screaming. And then after that, they killed the gorilla. And then after they killed the gorilla, they started looking into the woman. Oh, yeah, she been a fucked up mom. And I was like, damn, nigga, what if she just was slipping that one day? You know, but I'm telling you, the court of public opinion. That's what sways everything. That's why with Mike Brown, they kept talking about how he robbed a liquor store. Even if he did rob the liquor store, that didn't give you, as a police officer that's supposed to protect and serve, the right to kill him. And then you lied and said, oh, he reached for my gun. What nigga reaches for a gun? Then they got all the motherfucking witnesses like, he didn't reach for no gun. He stopped and put his hands up and put down. And he just started shooting them. But Darren Wilson is still walking around here, alive and well.
They are very, very well taken care of. Casey was my rock. He was the big brother, so he helped with everything. Like,
and I'm not gonna play the whole thing because you know it is sad, but as she said, he was the rock. He was the rock of the family. He helped with everything. He was there. He was around for all that. He was around for the maturation process of her family. She's got 10 kids, so you know he was around for that. He probably helped her out a lot. She probably leaned on him a lot. They probably had actually a really good relationship. We don't know that. You know why? And we won't know how it would have developed because they took his life. This is why you got to stop being so trusting. And we have to understand that you have to be like Fred Hampton, R.I.P. to him. You know, everybody's been talking about Fred Hampton on social media too. Fred Hampton was not a trustworthy person in the dominant white society. That's why when the lawyer came in, I want to help. He said, are you for us or you for them? Because if you for them, the fuck up out of here. And the white lawyer was like, nah, man, I'm for y'all. I'm down with y'all. And back then, I think it was more looked at as courageous for the dominant white society to be oppositional of the system of racism, white supremacy. It was like a badge of honor to some dominant white society people because of the 60s and the 70s and all this other stuff. But we don't have that now. And let me tell you why we don't have that now. We don't have these people. And when I mean these people, You need to read this book called The Burglary. These people in here, and I didn't highlight hardly anything in here, but I remembered so much of the book because the book was so good. It was just such a good book. Very good book. But look, I just turned to a page. The black people who may have been targeted most in the Philadelphia era were students. They were easy targets because they stood out as very small and visible population on campuses, all of which in eastern Pennsylvania at the time were overwhelmingly white, except for Lincoln University, a predominantly black campus. Whether or not black students were peaceful, they came under the Bureau's watchful eye. The Burglary. I just randomly turned to a page. It ain't even highlighted. The Burglary. I told you about those dominant white society white folk in there. See, those motherfuckers was like, nah, we'll just break into the FBI building. And then when they broke into the building, they thought it was going to be shit about the war because they wanted to end the war. So they thought it was going to be shit about that. Then when they saw all this shit, racist shit about black people, they like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And I think it was Keith Forsyth. I always talk about him. He went down south to protest, and then they all got locked up, and it was a black man. I don't know if he was a preacher. He put his church or his farm up as collateral to bail a lot of those white people out and black people out. And he was like, man, we gotta do something. Like, nah, this is bullshit. And them motherfuckers put all that shit out that J. Edgar Hoover was doing. They put it all out there. And the reason why I say it is because, let me tell you, those type of people don't exist. It's too much at stake for a lot of these dominant white society people. Too much white fragility in the air. And the reason why I say that is because it brings me to the subject at hand. Vlad TV. Now, Casanova goes on Vlad like most rappers do because they want their shine. They want to get their likes up. But like many other black folk have said, he's not the plug. We're the plug. We're the ones we are the batteries that are powering his system. We're the batteries that's powering Vlad TV. And Vlad TV ain't nothing but fucking a capo. He's 5-0 one time. And it always try to, I didn't get nobody indicted. Yeah, but you be getting court documents, interviewing people, and reading the court documents back to people. What else would you call that shit? Stop it, Vlad. You full of shit. And you just got this young man on a RICO charge because they looking at your interviews. And we can say, well, Cassidy's dumbass shouldn't have been. Nah. If I'm Cassidy, I'm looking like, well, shit, everybody else going on there telling their business ain't nothing happening to them. So I'm going to go on there. I'm trying to get my likes up. I ain't mad at them. I'm trying to do what I need to do to feed my family. We have always been put against the wall and having to do business with the dominant society as crooked and as devilish as they have been the last 450 years in this country of the United States of America Incorporated, because it is a business. And they've been vile, vicious, vindictive, undermining, just devils, and beyond that. It's beyond that. Sinister, lackluster, deceitful this whole time. So when you look at a person like Vlad TV and he can tell you what type of reparations we should get, that's when you got to question. Why do you think it's your place to speak up for black folk? Now, Tim Wise, I remember everybody was like, I remember my brother like, man, Tim Wise go hard. I said, man, the jury's still out on him. This is before I even knew anything really about Tim Wise. I knew surface shit, but I didn't know a lot, right? And you go back and look at my podcast. I'm like, people that knew me, they knew I was always suspect of him because he sounded like a preacher. He wasn't really talking about doing anything to change racism and white supremacy. He was just talking about how white people conduct themselves under the institution of racism and white supremacy. Well, we already know how they act. We don't need white people to tell us how they act. We already know how they act. So we don't need that. That's why I'm like, well, why is everybody so gung-ho about this dude? And he's just telling us stuff we already know. Like, you're not doing anything different, and you're not having no solution to bring about the change of racism and white supremacy and try to establish a system of justice. And then it came out maybe a year later, he was talking shit about the Honorable Queen Mother, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, the author behind the ISIS Papers, Keys to Color, one of my favorite books that I always reference. Fear of a Black Planet, Genetic Annihilation. That's what Dr. Francis teaches, and that's what she talks about, right? Okay. So he said that what she said was pseudoscience bullshit. But you up here pandering and philosopher proselytizing to black folk about how white people conduct themselves under this system. And I think we're so enamored with white people speaking on our behalf, we don't really dissect what they're saying. And we don't question, well, what's the resolution? How do we change it? The next time you hear a white person, right, that considers themselves an activist for black folks, say, well, what is your solution to change it? If they're not talking about reparations, you should say, well, what about a repayment of us building the country for free? You're going to get a real answer. Oh, well, it should be free education. It should be no taxes. It's never going to be a free payment. You know why? Because they could never see themselves as being equal to you. That's why. And that's why Tim Wise, Jane Elliott, who everybody loves Jane Elliott because she goes so hard until that black brother confronted her about reparations. She started talking about the Native Americans. And then she made it seem so bad that, oh, you don't want the Native Americans guy. So Jane Elliott is officially an agent for the system of racism and white supremacy. So I don't want to hear shit that bitch is talking about because you ain't saying shit about getting that money that you done already made all your money. You didn't grow up in poverty like black folks did. The majority of us, 90% of us. Stop. You preaching and doing all this other shit? Nah, I don't want to hear it. And now Vlad TV, the capo, the FBI informant, the CIA informant. Oh yeah, you, as far as black folks is concerned, you are a domestic terrorist to me because you have indicted and got more people in trouble and incited more beefs and bullshit than any other person I've ever seen on YouTube. Straight the fuck up and down. He's worse than any other media platform, and he takes pride. He thinks it's funny. And that's what I don't like about Vlad TV. He thinks the shit is funny. And now you just got somebody indicted from asking questions and shit. Because the FBI basically, and they did that on purpose. And you know why they did that on purpose? Because niggas like Lil Baby, other niggas was calling him out. Other niggas was calling out. Lil Baby was calling the nigga out basically like, man, how you know that? Look, I'm going to play this interview. I'm going a little over. I'm busy, but I want y'all to hear this shit. I want y'all to hear. Now, Lil Baby, very intelligent, bro. I'm a fan of his. Just on his IQ level. Now listen to this. This is Vlad. Now listen to this.
All right, here we go. We got one of the up and coming Atlanta stars in here, Lil Baby. What's good?
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
See, what's good? They know our lingo.
Everything good, man. I'm seeing the buzz like growing out there. The songs are doing numbers. Like, congrats on what you're doing.
I appreciate you. I appreciate everything, most definitely. I appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're from the SWAT?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So what was it like growing up in Southwest Atlanta?
You know what I'm saying? You know, like typical Atlanta, you know, everything you might go through in a ghetto around the world, you know what I'm saying? A neighborhood around the world, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Like, what was your family, home like?
Figure around.
And that don't sound like
really,
that sound like a police
mama did what she did,
investigation.
She did the rest.
How many kids did she have?
See?
Just me and two of my two sisters.
3 kids.
Let's see.
What do you think was the hardest thing? Getting
all
evicted,
that.
coming home, and everything else like that.
Definitely.
That's tough, man. That's tough as a kid. And I have some close friends that and
Exactly.
everything else like that. So you ended up getting into some trouble later on. Like, at what point did
You see how he segue? You ended up getting into some trouble later on.
kind of start, messing around with the streets and getting into problems?
About 12.
Okay.
Then I went in jail first time 12. First time 12. I think burglary. First time I locked up about 12, 12
See?
13. I thought
See
it was
how
12.
we just tell our
Like
business?
burglary.
Okay, so you're breaking into houses.
We ain't even breaking in no house, but we trying to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you tried to break into a house and got caught.
Yeah.
See?
Okay. You and some friends?
Yeah, me and a couple friends.
Okay. Whose idea was this?
If that ain't the police, then what is? Y'all tell me.
Can't even remember. It's been so long ago. You know what I'm saying? But I remember that, Jay, because that was my first time. But after that, it's just been down here ever since.
Okay, so you guys try to break into a house, and what happens? Someone calls the police, and they arrive?
Did y'all hear that? That's like an interrogation. That's all. He just doing a police job. I don't know why niggas is fucking with this man. And he knows who to question like this. And a lot of niggas be like, nah, man, I ain't talking about that. A lot of niggas probably don't even want to fuck with him because they like, this nigga's the motherfucking police.
Like that? That was back like they had a little red dog unit in there. I think they just pulled up out of nowhere.
Oh, okay, the red dogs are the police.
Exactly.
Okay, so they pull up on you as you're trying to break into this house, and then boom, they just arrest you real quick.
Exactly.
Okay, how much do they give you? How much time?
You know, juvenile, you don't really like 10 days max. Like, get detained 10 days, that's about it.
Okay, so it was not a big deal initially.
Exactly. I was already kind of in the streets then. It just really was just, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody know now, you know what I'm saying? My mama know exactly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to that one point.
Everybody.
I can't find it, but that nigga was like, how
getting
you
in
know
trouble, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never had a problem, like, academically, you know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so basically you just said fuck school and just started. What started to happen after you dropped out?
money, you know what I'm saying? Shit, went for now.
Okay, and then that led up to you ultimately getting 2 years in prison.
Exactly.
Okay, and you were how old at the time?
See, at the time, I probably caught the cases like about 16, 17. Then I caught so many cases in a period of time from like 17, 18,
See?
before I turned 19. That's what did it.
Okay, and like what were these cases that you kept catching?
Just like drug cases.
See, I would be like, why does that matter?
You know what I'm saying? Gun charge, shit like that.
Okay, so all these cases started to build up. And then it comes down to, okay, you have to start going to trial and you start getting lawyers and everything else like that. Now, you ended up kind of getting lucky initially, right?
Yeah, definitely. Sure. The program was going to end up.
Okay, so you started to get into fights essentially?
See, like a cop, I'm telling you. A cop, I ain't gonna play the whole interview, but y'all get the gist. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Like a cop. You a cop. Why you asking all them questions? I would have shut that shit down. I couldn't find the part, but he was like, how you know that? And then he stopped saying shit because he knew. So let me, look, profit over freedom. Remember that. You can go over there with them and try to make a nice little profit, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be free. Remember that. Remember that every time, I'm going to do a deal. I'm going to do a deal with Nike. I'm going to do a deal with, look at Colin Kaepernick. Yeah, he sacrificed, he did all that. He got to deal with Nike, but he can't say shit. Only thing he can do is retweet. He can't even come out and say nothing. He got his money from the NFL, but he can't even talk about it. So you did a deal with them, but you can't even say shit. Matter of fact, you can't even be an activist. Only thing you do is retweet shit. So remember that. Remember that when you watching all this shit. Remember, so when you go over there and deal with this, especially a nigga like Vlad that's asking questions like a police officer, I'm surprised. It's one nigga that's straight checked him like, man, you act like the police. You get hella niggas indicted and shit. Then he started backpedaling. I never got anybody indicted and all. Stop. Y'all niggas need to stop fucking with him. It's because of him. Casanova is about to go to federal prison and getting indicted on a RICO charge because of all those interviews. You know what you doing. Let me tell you something. Like I said about Tim Wise. Tim Wise was basically telling you how white folk act and how racism is for white folk. We know how it is for them. It's great. But he never gives any solution. I've never seen it one time give any solution on reparations or say, hey man, you don't need to give them their money. They've lost so much money building shit for free. You'll never say that. But you keep peddling your book and act like a preacher and talking shit about the real motherfuckers that's helping us, like Dr. Francis West Wilson. Stop. That's why Niggas Full of Dreams was like, y'all better be careful of these motherfuckers. And just being so enamored with listening to them talk, you better really, really question them. I'm talking about a person that's supposed to be your ally. Be like, well, what do you mean? How are you really helping us? And that goes on the court plantation everywhere. Just because motherfuckers smiling with you don't mean they got your best interest at heart. That's one. Two, just because you see two white people arguing at the court plantation does not mean that they're trying to replace the system of racism and white supremacy. That just means they arguing. So don't jump on the side. It's just like niggas jumping on Joe Biden's side versus Donald Trump. That's just two white people jockeying for position to be in control of something. They don't give a fuck about no niggas. They just using niggas to get where the fuck they want to get to. Remember that. But hey, man, I'm out. I'm already over my time. I appreciate everybody listening and subscribing. Hey, man, you already know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, you a Sambo coon ass nigga. Guilty nigga. I'm out. Peace.